In this video, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to look at the work of famous artists to understand how asymmetrical balance and the brightness weight illusion can be used to get more enjoyment and understanding uh, from looking at these works. So in each of the following images, I'm going to articulate how they balance in the brightness weight illusion. And then eventually I'd like you to kind of think about that as well. I'll give you a little bit of space to try and come up with your own answer. It's okay if your analysis doesn't agree with mine. The most important thing is that you start thinking about these concepts and trying to understand what the artist was trying to do. So in this painting, obviously we've got a small dark shape over here, counterbalanced by the large bright area over here. Everything up here is fairly the same, except over here on the right, Mr. Diebenkorn has put a dark object to help counterbalance this object over here. But essentially, it's this small dark area counterbalancing this large bright area. Yes, there's a dark chair here, but it's pretty much in the center, so it balances itself out. In this photograph by Henri Cartier-Bresson, who was very precise in his use of this concept of asymmetrical balance, the brightness weight illusion, um, to create a balanced image. The cat obviously is the small dark object in the image, and because it's an animate object, it carries even more weight. And so Monsieur Cartier-Bresson counterbalanced it with this chair. But clearly that wasn't enough because the cat is quite dark relative to everything else, and because it's an animate object, it has a lot of psychological weight. And so Monsieur Bresson panned the camera over to the right so that the cat is off to the left and there's more space over here. There's some white space on the left of the frame, but basically he's added more to the right side of the picture in order to counterbalance, basically speaking, the cat and everything on the left. In this painting by Pierre Bonnard, quite quickly at this juncture, I assume that you start to see how balance is working. And predominantly, this is this small dark area counterbalanced by everything on the right. Now, that's not to say that's the only balancing object. You bisect this in half, and everything on the left is counterbalancing everything on the right. But you can see that we've got this small dark object here counterbalancing these large bright areas here. And in this photograph, you can see balance happening both left and right and top and bottom. So on the bottom right, we have this small dark area, which serves to counterbalance a wisp of the Eiffel Tower on the left side, just left of center, and this smaller, darker area here in the window here and here. So this here, this larger dark area balances this, and this. And if you split the image horizontally, you've got the same thing going on. You've got this large, bright space here, counterbalanced by these small, dark elements. So small, dark, large, bright. In this image by Brett Weston, again, the small, dark area is counterbalanced by the large, brighter area. So we can say this is the brighter area, and that's the darker area. Small, dark, large, bright. This image by Henri Matisse is fairly symmetrical. If we split it down the middle, you have the horse, the figure of the horse predominating the right side, but you have these shapes in the bottom left and top right corner that are opposing each other and kind of counterbalancing each other. But because the horse predominates on the right side of the image, Monsieur Matisse, I think, needed a little bit more on the left to counterbalance that. So although this shape is similar to this shape, this one is enhanced by having a green color and a yellow color to add weight to the left side of the image. This sketch by Carlos Diniz. And again, hopefully you're able to see now this small dark area is basically counterbalancing this large bright area. Small dark, large bright. This photograph, again, by Henri Cartier-Bresson. The head of this person, the figure, Alexander Calder, is to the right of center. Here's center. So it's just slightly to the right. And everything else is, except up here, you have this shape. So basically, the, the, the head of this figure is adding weight to the right side of the image, and everything else being fairly the same. This dark shape up here is counterbalancing that on the left side. Alexander Calder, by the way, was a famous sculptor, and he also used these principles. One of the reasons I like Alexander Calder is because his sculptures are hanging sculptures, and so they help to physically articulate these conceptual ideas of asymmetrical balance. I actually have one here for you to see. So we can see here that the sculpture balances off of this piece here. And so basically, these elements on the left side, these few, balance these many on the right. And that's because, these are larger and they stick out quite a distance to the left. But this is a great example of asymmetrical balance. The two sides are essentially equal, but different. If you like this video, I invite you to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, feel free to do so in the comment section below.